To start with, initially I thought I will do half face-to-face video recording and half will be telephone. But I found that telephone was better for me in a way that, examination doing in front of the camera or, chaperone behind the curtain, so that's time consuming. And in telephone, you do examination, but you just explain, so that is a quick way to do it. I did just one case I did, video, and the rest, all of my cases were audio. I mean, this is personal, one of my friends, he had majority face to face because he was good on video and, with all those things. But I thought, audio was better for me. So I changed it and, I did majority audio rather than, video cases.
Yeah, I think it's very much about the registrar's consultation style, the practice, how they work, because sometimes I see some IMGs going more with face-to-face, but in some cases you need to judge it because sometimes the telephone consultation might yield you a higher score. So it's really important to be strategic as in thinking, does this patient need a chaperone? Will it take longer if I do it as a face-to-face? Could I manage it as a telephone and do a very good plan? So you need to ask yourself whether by doing it as a face-to-face, is it going to add value to the consultation and help you score higher, or can you still do it as a telephone consultation? So that's a good point that you've raised.
Yeah. And one thing was more that examination, if you're doing in front of the camera, you have to be accurate, so even if you are listening to the heart, so you have to all the areas in the right place. I mean, again, it's video and chaperone and all those things behind the curtain, but that is time consuming. While you say in audio, you say, well, I will listen to your heart to make sure there's no abnormality. So you just skip that, because you if you're showing mistakes on in front of the camera, and that will go against the candidate. So I was mindful of that as well.
Yeah, you want to show the best version of yourself in a recording because the examiner doesn't know anything about you. They're going to judge based on that recording they've got. So absolutely, really important that you don't submit a case where you think, oh, I could have done this better. I'm not 100% happy with it. Because if you're already seeing things that's not good, then the examiner is probably going to see that as well.
Yeah. There was one more thing as well, because what I used to do, open 3-4 things in front of me, nice guideline, the patient history. I had eliminated sort of, the points which minute I'm doing what, sort of, so those things were in front of me, so I was in control. But in the front, if the patient is there, then I can't look at the watch, so it's quite tricky. So I felt the advantages of, audio are much more than the video, and that worked for me as well.
Yeah, when you do a telephone, you can jot down points and you can check things.
Yeah.
And whereas in the face-to-face, you're very limited as to how much you can do because you need to make sure you keep a good eye contact with your patient.
Yeah.
So tell us then, in terms of the prep, what were you doing before you consult Wajid?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So I just 10-15 minutes, I went through the patient notes first, the last 2-3 letters, the last 3 consultation, the problem, drug allergies, past medical history, so I know on beforehand, and the problem, and it's the nice guideline in front of me, so accurate, nice guideline. And I used to find out what should be the psychosocial question, how should I phrase. I had a stock sort of, because I mean, you are aware, being an IMG, not my native English is not my language, so I have to have 2-3 sort of stock sentences or phrases, how to phrase the psychosocial and all those things. So yeah, so those things, the nice guideline, what should be the safety netting for this particular patient, if there is any at all or not. And I used to write on a piece of paper, just for the patient eyes, and then I used to incorporate that in the management as well. So not to forget, if the patient say eyes, what is eye, not for purpose of asking what is eyes. So I used to write exact word of the patient, and then in the management I address that. I remember you saying this, and that is one option, but probably the better option will be this, So addressing that, and that give a good interpersonal skills. Yeah, so that was working, and the patient appreciate as well that you just didn't um, you know completely dismissed their thoughts or their concerns or expectation.
Are you struggling with your consultation skills? Maybe you need help and you want to get constructive feedback. If you'd like to get help, then I'd recommend that you click the link down in the description below to book a free call to see whether we can work together on a one-on-one coaching program. If I think that I can help you, then we can get you on the coaching program. But if I can't help you, then at least you get some insights.